Hello everybody, this is Shane R. Monroe, and today we're going to be looking at the brand new survival game Valheim. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to teach you some of the basics you'll need to get up and running quickly, and then we'll throw in some good stuff later on. So we're going to go ahead and create a new character, and you'll find that there's a little bit of mouse and keyboard needed here, even if you're a controller player. We'll just do that. We'll accept the defaults and we will start. So we'll create a new world. I've had some test worlds in here. And here we go. Now you could start this as a server to allow your friends to hop in, or a community server that's a little more public. In this case, it's just going to be me and thee today. So, as per normal, this is a survival game first, and you will be doing a lot to survive. There's a lot of resource gathering, a lot of combat, both incidental and intentional. There's a lot of multi-layers of crafting in this game, so we're going to be taking a look at quite a few of those. I would say there's a great similarity between this game and, say, Conan. There's a little bit of the forest in here. Portal Knights, if you've played Portal Knights, it plays a lot like that as well. All right, so here we are. We're going to get our intro. There's not a whole lot going on. You can read. I won't read it out loud because that's sort of annoying. But there's not a lot of ton of exposition here to start. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole story, right? Cool. So, as all great survival games start, you will be starting completely destitute. You'll pretty much have nothing, and you'll have to get started. I do dig the bird that flies you in and drops you off. We'll be speaking with the bird a lot. He helps us along the way. This game is not, if you're looking for a game that's going to hold your hand and tell you everything to do, that's not this game. However, I will tell you that the natural progression of this game is very solid. In other words, you won't wander around feeling like you're not getting anywhere for too long. There'll be periods of time where you're thinking, I don't know what to do next, or what am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? I don't feel like I'm advancing. That's really not the purpose of this game. So we'll talk a little bit more about it as we go. Okay, so we're going to start off by, first of all, it's a really crappy day outside. It is raining and you're already wet, which is ridiculous. The least they could do is start you off dry. So let's go talk to the raven here. These are the sacrificial stones. You must slay them all in order to ascend to Valhalla. And as you can see, there are 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you look carefully, hey. All right, so the first thing we did was have an attack by a boar. Let me just tidy him out of the way. You can see he's probably going to end up dead, and I haven't even started the game yet. Okay, good. We're not going to be dead right away. Okay, so a couple of new items. We have the ability to make a torch, and we picked up a couple of items. There's a branch here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that into wood. There's a stone here. I'm going to grab that. Before we even get started, you'll start to see some slide-ins that'll tell you what's going on. Unfortunately, they're so fast, you probably won't see anything. We'll get to those in just a minute. Magic stones scattered throughout, pointing to the ritual grounds. Your first prey is this guy. He's a mighty beast, so you're going to need to make sure you're well armed before you go after him. And so look at that. He's like right there. I mean, he's right there. He's going to be easy for us to go get. All right. So we got the map. As you can see, the more you do something, it starts to improve your skill set. I've already managed to get to level 2 jumping, but you do have stamina. If you look at the bar at the bottom here, if you look at the bar at the bottom down here, this is your stamina and it's slowly recharging. The fact that I'm wet means it recharges slower, or you use more of it. These types of modifiers will You'll eventually start to get used to which ones do what, but as long as you're wet, you're sort of taking a stat hit. All right, so this is the guy we need to see, and if you look at the stone, it looks like a buck or an elk. So that kind of gives you a hint as to what sort of creature you're going to have to deal with. Now, if you look at the overhead map, I'm not sure why there's a whole string of this map already done. This is a brand new generated world. It seems very strange, maybe a glitch. Your sacrifice stones, and just so you can see just how big this map might end up being, it's really hard for you to get a good idea of the size of it at this point, but it's freaking huge. There's also geographical areas located on the map. So right now we are looking at the meadows. The meadows are safe, lots of things to pick up, rocks, boars usually. See, my running is improving. I like to run as much as possible because running is a key skill to survival. Sounds crazy, but it is. Stones, always pick up stones when you can. We're also going to knock down some of these smaller trees because you can't chop down a tree without an axe, but we do need wood. Wood, stone, and flint. These are the things you're going to need to get started on this game. So don't miss an opportunity. You're also going to need leather, which comes from those boars, which I got a piece of. You're also going to need deer skins, which of course come from that deer you see out there beyond those trees. So those are the sort of the primary things you're going to need up front. Wood, of course, is a big deal. Lots of wood. But we're not going to start building anything just yet. So it's kind of nice to have the area flanked down around where your first goal is. That's to kill that guy. Don't worry about the deer. We're going to go after them later. Right now, I'm just going to collect some resources. Okay, so take a look down below. Let's see if there's a better way I can do this. So if you look down below here, oh, the bird's going to come and give us some tips. If you look down below here, you see your rest level or your hit points here. Oh, crap. Time to go. All right, so this is exceedingly unfair. Fortunately, I have a torch with me, and oddly enough, torches make these guys stay away from you. So they may come looking at you, but they won't touch you. They don't like fire, and they're fairly easy to kill if you can get a hold of one. Unfortunately, when you're down to 6 hit points like I am, anything that comes along, including a boar, will thrash you. You'll also notice that I've already started using that torch. There's a meter showing you how much torch power I have left, at which point it'll have to be repaired. I also did some other picking up of some stuff. I picked up some resin. This is another item that's a huge early constructor part. Stones, wood. Here's those leather scraps, and I am wearing a rag tunic, which is, I think it actually says better than nothing, yeah. And then I have my torch. It also works as a weapon. So you hit Y. So I'm going to talk a lot about the controller because I'm a controller player, and we're going to talk about what you can and can't do with the controller. There are some times when it's just easier to jump up here and do stuff with your mouse to do maintenance and whatnot, but almost everything can be done with the controller. All right, so Y will bring up your menu, your overlay menus, and the bumpers will pan you around to the different areas. All right, so if you go in here, you'll see message logs telling you some of the items that you've been told already. You can also see interesting stuff here using your left analog. You can change over here. This will show you what sort of skills you have, what you've earned, and how close you are to the next level. Trophies maybe you've collected, as well as whether or not you want damage with your friends playing or not. And then finally, here are the items you can craft based on what you have around you, and what you have around you is absolutely nothing. So these items can be constructed now without any further items being built, right, such as a workbench. So we're going to go ahead and build that club, and we probably need a hammer. We don't need that just yet. We're going to continue to grab any fruit, and when I say fruit, I'm talking about mushrooms, anything that we can eat, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Let's go talk to the bird. Items must be crafted. You'll have to recall the true shape of objects. Just pick things up and it'll all come back to you. So the more stuff you pick up, the more likely you are to be able to craft. And I just realized that my head is in front of the item down there. Hang on a second here. Let me just nuke my head. So yeah, so down here are your important items. This shows your current stack of food that you're eating, and we're going to talk a lot about that. And then you have your current health and your sort of your food level, how hungry you are, and that's pretty much it for now. We'll talk more about that as we go. Okay, so let's move along. Enough of the blah blah blah. All right, so we're done talking to him. So my first goal when I start up a new world is gather, of course, but then I also want to hunt. What do you want? He's so busy. I found a snack. Consume it to improve your health and stamina, but you will grow hungry again as always. So I'm going to go over and get this neck guy, this little lizard dude. They die pretty easy, and they're a great source of food. So I got a neck tail. There's another guy over here. I'm going to snake him too. Running is accomplished by the right bumper, which isn't super... I'm using all the default controls, so I haven't remapped anything. So left bumper is your running. And as you run, you'll consume stamina. Depending on your modifiers, you may burn stamina faster or slower. So the first thing I like to do is find water. Now, you don't actually have to drink water in this game. In order to survive, but it's nice to know where water is because of Flint. Flint is a huge piece of your startup building, and you'll want to pick up as much of that as possible. I think you'll need 15 or 20 to really make things start rocking and rolling for you. Once again, go ahead and smack the trees apart. We do need wood all the time. We need stone all the time for these early days. As you can see, when it's flashing red, it's taking longer to recharge. So try not to exhaust yourself completely. I still do it. So don't say, hey, Shane, you told us not to exhaust ourselves completely, but you're doing it all the time. Yeah, I know. It's just a really bad habit. If you can get used to burning your stamina down to almost the end, you'll be in better shape. So I try to work the initial area, and I'm also looking for an existing dwelling to actually occupy, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. For now, what I really need is an axe. So hopefully I've got enough to build one, and I do. So I'm going to go ahead and build that stone axe. This is a good time to talk about your hotkeys up here. Basically, these are hotkey assignments. So if for some reason you wanted to keep some fruit always on ready hot standby, you can. Obviously, you'll use number keys if you are a mouse and keyboard player. But as a controller player, you'll use the D-pad left and right to choose one of those. Press up to activate it, and you'll see I ate a strawberry. If you look in our bottom left-hand corner, you see I have one food item stacked. That is going to slowly start helping my hit points go up. As you can see, I have practically none. If I even get near a boar, I'm screwed. Unfortunately, until I have an opportunity to cook, there's not much I can do other than consume fruit. Now, you might say, well, Shane, just stack 3 strawberries and maybe your health will come up faster. Unfortunately, you can only have one item at a time. So this is a good piece of advice for you. Always have 3 different types of consumables on you at any given time. That could be 2 different types of meats, 2 different types of fruits. Just have at least 2, preferably 3, at any given time. And you will be a much happier person. As you can see, my hit points are slowly going up. They'd go up a lot faster if I had some meat, but this is better than nothing. So I'm going to continue to gather. This isn't super sexy, this first part of the equation, but I am looking still for some place to call home. I wouldn't recommend exploring the map too much. I would sort of do like I do with any other type of a game. I try to sort of explore in a radial pattern as best as I can. And this is going to be like your first objective, but we're way far away from that for now. But I like to stay in a tighter area until I'm at least a little bit better defended. Okay, so here is an abandoned dwelling. This isn't what I would choose. I'm going to get all this stuff. Oh, I hit some poison of some sort. Interesting. Nope, there's more poison. I'm going to end up dead because I'm not smart enough. That must be poison ivy or something. But it's good to see the modifier. Poison is absolutely not your friend. As you can see, there's nothing you can really do. You can't drink a quick health potion. There's no way to restore that. So if you see that you're starting to go down, your only way to revitalize yourself is to let your food do its job. And right now, my food is doing its job, but with 6 HP, I am an easy target, even for a boar, which is like the bare bone, base character in here that I shouldn't even be concerned about. I should be taking those guys out like they're nothing. But with that level of hit points here, oh great. Now this is a guy I cannot take right now. So I'm going to flip the torch on. I'm going to break out the bat. He's not going to hit me as long as I've got the torch. At least not this level of graze. All right. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any food on him. He does have resin, and he does have usually wood of some sort. All right. So I've got 10 hit points. I could probably knock down a couple of boars. For combat, you can sneak, right? So you use click in the left analog stick, and you will sneak. The more you sneak, the better you are at it. The more you sneak, you'll also get a damage increase if you sneak and attack. You also get a backstabbing bonus. So if you're sneaking as well as hitting them in the back, you do massive more damage than you would if you were coming up on them straight. You do still burn stamina, though, while you're sneaking, so you have to kind of keep an eye on that. He saw me anyway. All right, he did a little bit of damage, but I got a little sneak bonus in here. I got some more meat, which I can't eat yet, and I got some more leather, which I will definitely need. So these aren't going to do me much good. I am still looking for a better dwelling. And if there's one dwelling nearby, typically speaking, there's another. By the way, once those boars get wind of you, they'll come after you, and they will chase you down. Again, I only have one type of food right now, which makes me very vulnerable. So, I'm going to harvest whilst I wait for my hit points to go up a little bit. Now, I'm going to go ahead and build a hammer. A hammer is your key to crafting. Now, you'll notice there's nothing else I can really do right now. I can use my hammer, right? And now I'm in repair mode. If I had a workbench nearby, I could do some repairing. If I hit A for the build menu, you'll see that there are some things that I can build with just a hammer. Things like a fire, which I will definitely need, a wood stack, a stone pile. This is your cooking station, but the workbench is what you really got to have, right? You got to have a workbench before you can do anything cool. And I need 10 wood for that. Building and furniture I can't do yet, but I will soon. Again, you're money ahead to find an existing dwelling. Oh, there's the bird again. Start by building a workbench. This will enable you to build a... Yeah, I just told him that. Thank you, though, so much for letting me know. All right, so I need some wood here. Logs are great. You don't have to chop down the trees first. So take advantage of logs. All right. And I got a whole bunch of wood out of that. Can you cut down trees? The answer is yes, depending on how powerful your item is. You may indeed. Now you see, look at my food down in the bottom left. You see it's blinking. That means it's almost gone. So I'm going to go ahead and start another one. I could have gone over here, I know. I usually don't keep food in my quick items up there. Trees can be chopped down, and we'll do one real quick. It's important to note, though, that unlike some games, survival games, trees are dangerous. These things, if they land on you, you will probably die. If they start rolling down a hill, these logs, if they start rolling down a hill, you'll die. They can kill you. You'll also notice that other trees take damage from trees that you drop. So it's not uncommon to see almost a domino effect of knocking these trees down. So I could try to chop this tree down, but I'm actually worried it will fall on me. So I'm going to go down from down here. You'll notice I'm getting skills for everything that I'm doing, pretty much. I'm using an axe, so I'm going to get a skill bonus for that. See? Notice? See that? See? Look at that. That could have taken me right out. But you'll also notice that it did damage to other stuff around it, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of indirect damage that happens in this game, which is kind of cool. Later on, you can get monsters to do mining of things for you as well. They'll actually mine copper or tin for you if you can get a troll to hit one of them. See, look at that. You see how I can push this along? And it actually does damage to stuff. It's nutty. Oops, see? I actually got hit myself. But yeah, you can roll these things along, and sometimes you can actually harm enemies with it. All right, it's starting to get a little bit late. I don't want to be running around too much in the dark. Oh, there's a boar. It's amazing how much damage they do this early in the game. I'm used to them doing, like, no damage. If we don't find a building soon, I'm going to have to build something. Here are some more sacred stones. They will give you hints and clues. Most of them, you'll see 5 or 6 of them that you keep seeing over and over and over again. Runestone, I should say. Yeah. Work is hard. Fear the horned one, spare his kin, yada, yada, yada. I can't believe I haven't found at least one building yet. This is crazy. I mean, I did find a building, I suppose, but nothing I actually want to use. All right, is there something over there in the distance? Let's take a look. I'm tired of existing on one single food source. That's really the bigger problem. Now you can see we're still in the meadows. And, oh, there we go. Is that a building over there? Hang on. I'm getting over there. My stamina's low. Good. There's a dwelling here, and it looks perfect for me to conscript it for my own needs. Ugh, running out of stamina sucks. All right, so it's in disrepair, but it's salvageable. So let's go ahead and get that workbench built. We'll activate our hammer. And good, I do have enough. Select. And then you can hold the left trigger and rotate the right analog stick to make it a little more desirable for the way you like it. Try to cram as much stuff in here as you can. It does need to be underneath, though. All right, so I've laid that down. Now you can see all sorts of things have lit up. The bird's going to tell me congratulations, build complex items, building pieces. So now that we have a workbench, all sorts of things open up to us. So if we open up the Hammer's build menu, you can see we have all sorts of good stuff now. But let's start off by shoring up what we have, shall we? So we go to repair, and we repair every piece of this guy that we can. Right now in early access, it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost wood or anything to do repairs. Repairs are free. This also includes repairing your own items, which we'll repair at the workbench, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. For now, once this actually starts costing resources to do, it'll be a little more crazy. So it's nighttime. You see I've got a status modifier, which is cold. That is going to make anything that I do drain my stamina considerably more. Okay, do I get everything? I think I've circled the house once or twice here. Then we'll go inside, and we will see if I can I kneel down in here? No. I just want to repair everything that I can. The floorboards. Happy house here. Okay, so what do you want? You can tell me about nighttime now? Oops. Temperature drops. This reduces your stamina regeneration. Seeking shelter by an open flame is your best option. Yes, of course. So, all of that good work should have gotten us enough to build a fire. And we will go ahead and do that now. You know what? I'm going to see if I can build a hoe. The hoe will let you level the dirt, level around your home. I kind of like to be able to have everything where I can see it. I can't see everything when it's sticking through the grass. Right? Take some of the dirt around by the opening here. Make sure I can still get in, which I can't. Ugh. Almost. Sometimes when you level the ground, it actually makes it so you can't get in your house. You can't even get down like that. So one of the things you could do is, of course, you could remove that upper piece, which is fine. We can put it back some other time, right? Now I'll put this fire down. What am I missing? Stone. Great. You're always missing something. What do you want? Yes. I know it is. All right, so I'm also running low on my food. Keeping an eye on that is really key to survival. You don't want to let... Do I have enough now? Let me see here. I do. Okay. Let's get this campfire up, and then I can start repairing the house. Just put that right there. And then we're also going to see if we can build our cooking station, which we can, and that has to go over top of a fire. All right, and now you can put meat on there. Now, meat does not take long to cook. There's no real indicators of how far along the cooking is. And if you leave it cooking for too long, it will burn into charcoal, and then you will get nothing out of it other than charcoal, which does have a use, just not early on in the game. You'll hear it sizzle a little bit when it's all done. Right there. Good. You'll pick it up. Right. And now I've got more. Now I've got some actual food. I've got a couple of grilled necktails. So I'm actually going to start eating one of those along with another piece of fruit. Now, I'd like to notice, I'm going to get my head out of the way. You can see now I've got two foods charged up, and my food meter is much higher. And you'll also notice that I'm going to see my hit points drastically increase. This is what we're looking for. All right, so let's go ahead. I think I've got enough wood to get at least some of this work done. So we need to have a roof over your head. That's the most important thing for shelter. Again, you may have to rotate these items to get them to fit just right. All right, I think everything was on over here. So now we actually have a reasonable sheltered hut. We go in here and it says we're resting, we're comfortable, and we're inside a shelter, which is exactly what we were looking for. So let's see if there's anything we can put in this hole right here. I don't think there's anything we can put here that won't get in the way. Hang on. That's okay. We don't really need that hole covered up. It would have just looked nice. And I have nothing else to put on here. So what have we done? What are we missing? Well, we still don't have a save spot. So you'll also notice if you look at your map that you made this kind of this camp, but there's nothing here to designate it as a camp. So once you build a bed, which is what we're going to do next, this should also be on your initial top menus to do. I need more wood, which seems to always be the case. More wood. Get our axe out. Take my hit. For some reason, chopping things down seemed to call the grays to you. I would be shocked if a gray didn't show up right now as I'm chopping these things down. All right, so we got more wood. How are we doing? We aren't close. Notice how it says we don't have a workbench? There's a sort of a sphere of influence that the workbench has. You can see that. Anything within this white line, we can now build in. Now you should have the bed near the fire. Oh, see what I tell you. As if on cue. I have enough hit points now where I don't feel like I have to worry about chasing him off with fire. All right, so let's get that bed ready. All right. And I'm weird. I like to have everything set up just right. And because it's near the fire, oh, there we go. What do you want? Yes, you can sleep. It's always smart to have spare equipment, which we'll talk about again later. So you can sleep at night. And of course, you will waste those hours, so to speak. And I do believe the game does get progressively harder every single day. Everything gets a little stronger. You get a little more fun stuff going on. So you don't, I mean, sleeping is good, especially in this early part of the game. You have to claim the bed. So let me show you something here. I built the bed, but I didn't claim it. So if you're in multiplayer, everybody has to claim a bed. So you'll see that there's still no bed here. There's no save point. If I were to die, I would spawn here at the stones. That would be a long way to walk. We wouldn't want that. So we need to claim the bed. Now it's Shane's bed. Now, if we had multiplayer going on, everybody would have to have their own bed, and once a bed's claimed, it cannot be given to somebody else. So we are going to go ahead and sleep tonight. I do not sleep much during this game because I like the extra time to hunt and gather, but nighttime can be dangerous. So, all right, so I've got an extra rested perk going on, right? So that's going to give me a little more energy, a little more stamina. So now I am ready to continue. So this is the bare bones basics, right? We have a bed now. You see that on the map. I'm going to go ahead and add a home designator. This has to be done with a mouse. So you get that guy, double click on him, and then you type in something. I call it house 1, and that's not what number of house I have. That indicates that my workbench is currently a level 1 workbench, which you can see right here. Level 1 means there's only certain things that I can build, and there's only certain things that I can upgrade. You'll also notice this little repair hammer. If you go over here, right, you don't have to select which item you want to repair. Just go over there and start hitting the button, and it will repair everything in turn. There's no cost, so keep everything repaired all the time. Anytime you're near a home, drop in there. Repair all your stuff. So this is a level 1 home. That's why I called it number 1, because my workbench is level 1. If we want to upgrade our workbench, we'll have to build some add-ons. Now, I may not necessarily want this to be my overall home base, right? So I may not spend a lot of time and resources upgrading this particular house. So this is the bare bones startup. I've got now everything that I need. I've got weapons. I've got these tools that I need. I have a campfire built. I can cook. I can now go out and start doing some resource allocation from my surroundings, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do just some basic exploratory stuff. I like to know where my water sources are. I like to know where these little net guys are cheap and easy kills, and they offer good meat. And of course, as I mentioned before, lots of flint. Flint, flint, flint. I'm going to avoid getting in the water to get wet. I could. All right. So again, I'm going to spend probably the next hour of my time, which I'm not going to do here. I'm going to spend the next hour of my time gathering supplies, adding a couple more items to my home base, which I feel I need. And then I will start preparing myself to go after the first boss, the first big guy. Just a couple more things before I take off here. You'll notice that we have a foggy day now, which drastically reduces your visibility. Makes you sort of an easy target if you're not paying attention, because you can't see everything. But again, there are many different conditions, including night, raining, storms, you name it. It's pretty crazy. And again, I'm sort of working my way in sort of a circular pattern. I'm going to need more flint, I know, for what I want to do next. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move things along here. Oh, there's a mushroom. Again, you want 3 types of food, right? So now, if you look at my inventory, I've got meat, mushrooms, and fruit. A perfect trifecta to keep myself fit as a fiddle. So I'm going to go ahead and do some resource gathering. I'm going to gather up all those resources, bring them back to the camp, and then we will explore the next piece of the equation, which is building out your first base set of tools and seeing what's the most important to kill the first guy, the first bad guy. So we'll do that next. All right, everyone. I said I'd be back after I did some harvesting, and let's take a look at my catch, shall we? I got 2 deer trophies, which we're going to need to take on the big guy. Plenty of wood, lots of leather. Did some food building, and I got plenty of deer hide. And I've got enough flint, I believe. So now it's time for us to go in and make some of those crucial devices that I promised we would make. So first off, we've already got, if you look over here, we have a tunic, but what we don't have are pants. So let's go ahead and craft ourselves up some pants. We're also going to need a bow. A bow is crucial. The little bit of deer that I managed to snare, quite frankly, it would have gone a lot easier if I had a bow. So we're going to go ahead and get a bow. All right, and then of course with every bow you need arrows. So let's snake a couple of arrows here. Okay, and I've been using an axe a lot. Right now I've got a stone axe. Take a look at this flint axe. It's sharper than stone, and I've been building up my skill set using that. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that flint axe as well. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and just sort of equip it, move that off, get rid of one of my, just do a little bit of basic inventory work here. I like my bow there. My hoe can be there. All right. And then we'll need, of course, to wear our pants. And we still have our tunic. So now let's get those arrows going on. Let's see. I've got 40. I'm probably going to need a bit more than that. Okay. And now let's go to upgrade, which is right here. If we go to upgrade, you can see that I need a workbench level 2, as you can see down here. To get a workbench level 2, let's hope that I've done this correctly. So we are going to add, what we need is a tanning, or a chopping block rather, which we need some flint. And unfortunately I used up my flint when I built that nice flint axe here. However, we need what? We need like 4, right? So we're near some water. We'll run over here. We'll grab enough flint to do the job. This only took me about 1 game of in day, by the way, to harvest up everything that I needed. And plenty of flint here. Good, 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 good. All right, how we doing? We got 10. Let's go back. No need to belabor the point. So your workbench, every time you upgrade it, and so far I know of 4 upgrades you can do. All of my workbenches in my main world are level 3, which means I can make all sorts of good stuff, and I can upgrade stuff that I want as well. So let's go ahead and upgrade that workbench, shall we? So we need a chopping block, and that just needs to be somewhere within the sphere of influence here. I don't want to say. I guess I'm going to have to put it a little closer than I wanted. That's all right. We'll just put it like right there. All right. Now we go back to the workbench, and you can see we've got some other stuff, right? So let's take a look at that upgrade. Now we can upgrade those rags that we're wearing into something a little bit better. And let's see, if we were smart, we would have upgraded the crude bow as well, but we don't have quite enough goodies for that. Fire arrows. Listen, almost everything burns, right? Trolls burn, everything burns. So get yourself some fire arrows on board. All right, based on what we have here, let's go ahead and put our clothing on. Do we have enough for a helmet? We do. Let's go ahead and get the helmet on board. This all improves your armor class, which of course lets you take less damage, etc., etc. Let's see, can we get an upgrade out of that one? Now we need more deer hide, and that's going to be a problem. Well, it's not really so much of a problem now that we actually have a bow. So let's see if we can go out and snake a couple of deer here real quick. The bow and arrow is make sure you got the right arrows set. So I'll equip my wooden arrow. I don't want to waste awesome fire arrows on deer. Now, just like everything else, the more you use it, the better you'll get at it. And of course, you'll want to upgrade it as soon as you can. This allows you to get away without doing a lot of sneaking around and still pick things off at a distance. Things that you're not currently capable of of manhandling, like say a brute or a troll, this is your guy. You want to use the bow and arrow as much as humanly possible. I'm just trying to see if I can get us a target here. There we go. So the bow and arrow, as you draw back, it'll start using stamina. And of course, the longer you hold it, the better off your shot will be. And you'll notice that I shot a little high. You do have to account for the arc of the arrow. And I'm not going to be able to get that guy, I don't think. But I got this guy, okay. The bow and arrow is just a skill, not just a skill like in the game stat skill, but it's also something that you'll have to sort of get a feel for on your own. By the way, did you know you could use a torch? And when you hit them, they burn too. So not only will he not attack you, these little grays, when you've got the torch, but it also does a lot of damage to them and it burns them. Great little weapon. A lot of people don't think to use the torch as a weapon. Let's see if I can snake. Let's see, what do I got for deer skin here? I only have 2. That's just not going to work out. All right, so again, just to remind you, currently I'm not doing anything for my health. I'm going to go ahead and use a meat, a fruit, and a vegetable. I don't know, is a mushroom a vegetable? I do not know. All right. Let's see. Oh, I heard a deer somewhere. Where are they? One of the things that will become sort of second nature to you is picking up easy food as you go. In some cases, when you travel, you'll have access to no meat. And you'll need to keep all the berries and mushrooms and everything that you can on hand to get you through those weird, tough times. Okay. I think we're just about ready to go after the big guy. I think we have everything that we need to take on the first boss, if you will. I have the 2 deer heads, the 2 deer trophies, which is required to summon him. I've got adequate food. I've got adequate stuff. I would have really liked to have upgraded my bow before we went, but, you know, listen, well, we can't have everything, can we? So let's go ahead and take on the big, giant, scary first boss. Again, you'll need these 2. You'll need the 2 deer trophies to summon him. Once you summon him, you have to kill him, or you know, obviously you'll die, and you'll have to go back and pick up your remains. A couple of little hints about picking up your remains. Remember that you do have a fixed amount of space and carrying capacity. I would not venture where you think you're going to die. No, I mean, nobody thinks they're going to die. But if you're doing a risky mission, leave a bunch of crap at home, all right? Keep your inventory light, because when you go back to pick up your remains, you're not going to want to have to leave anything behind. So when you're going to build a couple of basic tools to get you by, and then you're going to go pick up your body, right? And if you have too much stuff on you when you pick up your body, you won't be able to pick up everything, and you'll probably be in a hurry because there's a bunch of bad guys circling it, blah, blah, blah. So just do yourself a huge favor and pack light when you go back to get your body. All right, so you can see I've got a nice amount of stamina going here with that mushroom, meat, and strawberry combo. All right, we're getting there. There we go. A little more running improvement. I run everywhere. I don't remember what I am in my main game, but I don't know if that actually helps you improve it faster by sitting down or not. It's fun, though, to sit down sometimes. Again, pick up food when you can. I think we're ready to go. So if you're not like fully ready, like in my case, I don't have an upgraded bow and a couple of other things. I would definitely make sure that it's not raining, preferably not dark, because you don't want any of these modifiers against you when you go against these bad guys. But for the sake of fun, we're going to do it anyway. All right, so here we go. Oh, the bird's going to tell us? I found the summoning place of one of the Forsaken. I have to give him an offering, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, before you summon that guy, clean these little rabbles away from the immediate area, because you're going to be running around a lot trying to get arrow shots on this guy. The last thing you want is like 17 boars chasing after you. And that's exactly what will happen if you leave these little outlier guys running around when you go after the first guy. So I like to run around, make sure there's nobody running around like this guy. Yeah, I know, I could have blocked that. A lot of people don't know you can block. Blocking is another skill that you eventually ramp up with. All right, so we're in as good a shape as we're going to be. Oh, wait a minute, there's one more little boar out here. See, I swear they put the area, they fill the area with these little guys just to make my life more fun. All right, so before you do that, make sure your health's fully charged up. All right, and then make sure you've got your bow and arrow, and I would definitely recommend taking the fire arrows after this guy, since we did make some. I don't have a lot. I've only got 20. That won't be enough to kill him. Notice it's cold. You probably shouldn't take this guy on at night, but I'm going to do it anyway. I make the sacrifice, and he's going to come out, and we're going to go to it. He's a stick and move kind of guy. He does have range damage as well as area damage, and he does do melee type attacks. And unfortunately, I'm not as fast as I am in my main game, so... And again, you see I'm doing some nice fire damage. You can also get rear damage, extra bonus, if you wait for him to rear up and attack you. He'll turn around, or he'll come at you like that, and then he'll do like a up on his back legs scenario. And you should be able to get a nice shot in his backside. Dang it, I thought it was further away than that. Okay, make sure you keep a little stamina available so you can run if he charges you. You know, this is all common stuff here, but, you know, you're coming here for tricks and tips. I got to help out. So he hasn't done the full front-on electrical bolt yet. There it is. Yeah, he missed me, though. Thank goodness. Okay, my stamina's low, so I'm going to have to stick and move a little bit here. Use the environment to help you, of course. Use rocks, use the branch. Oh. Dang it, got stuck on the geometry. You'll want a full-blown pull on this guy, right? And again, try not to... See, the fire's not doing a lot of damage, but listen, after 20 bolts, it's going to catch up to him. Oop, I took it in the shorts there. Watch your food. Notice I'm flashing. I'm probably going to have to take a moment to refeed myself here in a minute. Run over here. Do a little, yeah, I took one in the shorts there, but I had to get tidied up. This first guy is definitely not like super impossible as long as you have a couple of basics. I'm going to sit behind the rock and hope I can charge up a little bit. The electrical bolt will reach around that rock if I recall, so don't hang out, like, too long. I'm surprised that got me, actually. That one I'm not as surprised. I'm going to run out of fire bolts here soon, if I'm not already. Nope, I got a couple more here. Now, I know what you're thinking, Shane. Why don't you go after him with melee? Truth is melee is definitely... He's got an advantage on melee. Oh, crap. Unless you can get him from behind, which isn't a super easy task. Yeah, now I'm just doing standard bow and arrow damage. Which is okay. I mean, I'm not getting fire out of it, but I'm still hurting him. It's all about keeping an eye on your stamina, keeping an eye on your health, and just sticking and moving. Like I said, it's standard video game fare here. I'm not in too big of a worry here, even if I get popped a couple times. I can't believe that was actually a hit. I thought for sure I missed that one. And we're almost done with him. Ugh. Almost done with me. Stamina's killing me here. Alright, he's down. Not too bad, right? I told you he wasn't too hard. Alright, let me show you what you do with him. There's two things you need to do with this guy. So I got an antler and I got his head. And the first thing we do is take his... Oh, wait a minute. We got to go talk to him. Yeah, go to the sacrificial stone. Right, so we're going to go over there and hang his head on one of the stones. So we'll do that real quick, and then I'll show you why his kill, or killing him rather, is so pertinent to the game. So we'll have to, let's take his head here. I'll just use the mouse. Grab his head, stick it in one of my slots. Oh, good. There's an... You know, these little guys are so annoying. They're right everywhere you need to be. All right. So we put the head on there. Now now once you put that on there, you still have to activate it. Now you get a special power. So you get a couple of things here. First of all, you get that power. You see this down in the bottom left. You now have a power. The bird's going to tell you about said power. You need in time of need, blah, blah, blah. I remember if there's anything else we need to look at over here. So we're going to register our next location. In this case, it's the same guy. Now, you don't have to kill him more than once, but we don't have the other guy uncovered yet, so we have to do what we've got to do. Let's head home. Now, you'll see I've got my special power. It's down on the D-pad, by the way, to activate that. I was just reaching up to the keyboard and hitting F. But when you do that, it takes a second to energize, and now for 5 minutes, I burn less stamina, and when I jump, I use practically none, and when I run, I use practically none. So it's a great tool to get you out of a bad bind, to go up against a heavy boss. A couple of different ways you might want to use that, and it takes, as you can see, it takes 20 minutes to come back. So you don't want to use it, you know, hastily, but, you know, don't forget that it's there. It's too bad. I could have had that deer if that gray guy hadn't been in the way. And I got a trophy of his. I still don't know what to do with trophies. I'm not a trophy guy. All right. So we have to go home for this next piece of the equation. I can see I'm almost out of food again. Just use some basic stuff. I don't want to kill any boar right now. All right, back to camp, and now we can construct an antler pickaxe. And this is crucial to advancing to the next stage of the game, and that is you have the ability to break apart rock and mineral. So, as usual, when you get to your workbench, first thing you do, go over to your workbench, repair all your stuff, and let's build that antler pickaxe, shall we? Excellent. So, let's turn that guy on. And now, not only can you destroy... You can now destroy rocks. And in this case, there's nothing really in the rock other than stones. But if this were, say, a vein of tin or a vein of copper, we could break it apart easily with that device. So that is really what takes you to the next step, using copper and tin to make bronze, and bronze brings you into the next age, which means you can get better stuff, better equipment, better armor, better weapons, better knives. You got it. And while we're here, let's go ahead and unload some of this raw meat, of which we have a considerable amount. And there you go. First guy down. Your first couple of days done. You're in a good spot. You've got every piece of equipment that you need. Now you're just worried about improving your items, adding a tanning rack so you can get a level 3 workbench, which I don't believe I can swing just yet. Let's see. No, I need a lot of everything. So tanning rack's not going to happen for this video, but you get the idea. Well, listen, I hoped you enjoyed looking at Valheim. This has been one of my favorite recent games. It's very addictive, it's a big-time sink, and it's a ton of fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Shane R. Monroe. Please like the video, subscribe, check that little bell, get notifications of other great videos coming soon. I'm Shane R. Monroe, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care, everybody.